If you're working out with us today, begin by taking some deep breaths in through the nose as you listen on to the instructions of this video. Welcome to this All Elements Fitness 9-minute beginner's movement workout. Today's workout is going to have 3 rounds. Each of the rounds are 3 minutes, and they're going to consist of a movement, a static hold, another movement, and a 30 seconds rest. If you're unfamiliar with the movements in this workout and you want a tutorial explaining exactly what you need to do, the link in the description for the full tutorial to this workout. Let's get back to the warm-up. What we're doing here is articulating our shoulder joint, moving the arms in any way our flexibility will allow. Ease into the movement, experimenting with the position of our hands and the angle of our arms. This is going to create full range of movement throughout the shoulders. Any movement or exercise demonstrated is just a template. It's for you to take it and make it your own. Everyone is different and everyone's body reacts in different ways to different things. So it's important for you to listen to your body as you move and act accordingly. Now we're going to get into some spine articulation. The spine moves just like a snake. It can wave, it can bend, it can twist, it can rotate. Gently experiment with all of these ideas, the intention of loosening up the body. I totally understand that if you're in a public place, this can generate a few looks, perhaps some unwanted attention. But I'd like to remind you and give you confidence. Working out like this is creating a long-term, robust body. So be confident and put it out of your mind. Now we're going to work on some hip rotations. Notice that if your feet are planted as you rotate, you can start to feel stretches in the legs as well as the spine, as well as the hip flexors. It's a great way to start warming up the body. With the feet planted, it's time to twist all the way around as far as we can go. Bring it round and make it balanced by twisting all the way to the other side. Keep everything fluid and smooth, no jerking motions. Next, we're going to perform some squats and include some reaches at the same time. We want to go down as far as we can comfortably without the heels lifting off the ground. Then we're going to add some vertical reaches, balancing so that we do right side and left side equally. Next, we're going to sit down on the ground, roll backwards, keeping our knees into the chest as we roll back. And then as we come forward, let the momentum take us so that we reach in between our legs. No need to overstretch, just feel the stretch in general and approach your boundary of flexibility gently. This movement is going to be part of the main workout, so this is great preparation for the rounds ahead. Start to play with the position of your legs. Going from bent legs to straight legs is going to help activate the hamstrings, whereas before we were activating the hip flexors. Next, we're going to play with stretching the hamstrings individually, switching from one outstretched leg to the other, and maybe add in a few spine rotations at the same time. Then we can go back to the back roll, and when we come forward, we come back to one outstretched leg at a time. Now the heart rate should be elevated somewhat, so we're going to move on to articulating our wrists, as we're going to spend quite a lot of time on our hands during this workout. All we're doing is placing the palms of our hand on the ground and then rotating the hand so that the back of our hand is on the ground, and finding different combinations and ways to rotate from the front to the back. Apply a little bit of pressure and tension and you should feel the stretch throughout your wrist. Next, we're going to transition into this 90-90 seated position. Keep the feet grounded as you rotate the knees over and round to make the position one side to the other. Notice how I'm supporting myself with one arm behind each time, which is just going to follow on from that little bit of stretching we did for our wrists. Into the last 30 seconds of the workout, I'm going to leave it open to you to do any stretches or work on anything that you need to for your body. If you don't have a drink, this might be a great time to grab one as we make our final preparations before the first round begins. If you have trouble performing any of the movements in this workout, feel free to pause and reference the tutorial linked in the description, which breaks down every single movement performed in this workout. Round 1 is a reverse sweep roll to stand or jump. Let's begin. Work on making the transition smooth and familiarizing yourself with the movement. The more you perform it, the better it becomes. No need to push any high intensity, we're just moving with fluidity, making our transition nice and smooth, one side to the other. We're now halfway through the first 60 seconds. Try and maintain this intensity for the next 30 seconds. So as we count down the last few seconds, we're going to transition into our first static hold, which is the reverse plank. This is a good time to try and concentrate on your breathing. Your body's trying to recover, and breathing is going to help it do so. Keep holding through the last few seconds as we get ready to transition into the movement again, reverse sweep roll to stand. This time I'm going to add a jump in at the end, but it's up to you if you want to add a jump in to increase intensity. Again, listen to the body and try and act according to the feedback you get from it. We're heading into the last 30 seconds before we get our first rest, so try and keep the intensity up, keep working hard, and try and keep that movement high quality the way you've been performing it all round. The end of the round is coming up, keep pushing right through till the clock runs out. And rest. Breathe, relax. If you need a stretch, take a stretch. And I recommend you grab a drink. Keep the body hydrated. The rest is almost over. We're going to get into round 2. It's going to be a roll back to forward stretch, plus we've got that little turning transition that's just going to add a bit more movement to this exercise. First 30 seconds of round 2 is complete. Keep pushing, keep working hard, and keep trying to stay fluid. As the clock counts down, we're going to prepare and get ourselves into a plank. Hold for the 30 seconds or as long as you can. If you need to take a quick break, do so, but do your best to try and maintain for the whole 30 seconds. Now the 30 seconds is almost over, we're going to return right back to that same movement, roll back to forward stretch plus the transition. Let's go. as we head into the final 30 seconds before we get our rest, you can start to really push the stretch out. You can imagine something just beyond your reach that you're trying to grasp. Keep going, work all the way through to the clock ends, and then we can take our rest now. Again, focus on your breathing, allowing the body to recover. Take any stretches or movements that you feel will help you. So the third and final round is coming up. It's going to be an egg roll to stand or jump. Let's make this final push high quality so we can get the most out of this workout. The first 30 seconds of the round is down. Let's keep pushing, making our movements as fluid as possible. As the first 60-second winds down, let's prepare ourselves to get into that squat. In this case, we're trying to get our thighs parallel with the ground and just hold right there. I know you're feeling the burn, but just hang in there for the last couple seconds before we go back into that egg roll to stand. Once again, I've added the jump in at the end to increase intensity, and you can do so as well if you want to give yourself a bit more of a challenge. Only 30 seconds left before all the hard work is done, so make it quality, keep pushing, and work all the way till the clock's complete. Counting down the final few seconds and rest. Very well done. All the hard work is now over. We can allow ourselves to breathe, try and recover, bring our heart rate back down to rest, and do a few stretches in order to take care of our muscles. Once again, remember, this is your body. So any stretch that I do that doesn't benefit you exactly, you may want to change, manipulate, do something specifically for yourself. Perhaps your thighs are burning right now from the squat. Perhaps your heart rate is still up. React to that. Act in a way that benefits you specifically. We're going to take you through a few static stretches, starting with the quads. One at a time, balancing on one leg, or you could also do this lying down. We're just pulling the ankle in towards the glutes, pushing the hips forward, creating a stretch down the front of our thigh. Take your time, give the leg a good stretch, balance it out and switch to the other side. with the legs planted a little bit wider than shoulder width. We're going to hinge at the hip and reach for the toes. You should feel this down the back of your legs, the hamstrings, and even into the calves. Now let's take it from one side to the other. Pause for about 10 to 15 seconds each side. Going down onto one knee, we're going to stretch our hip flexors. At the same time, reach one hand across, hold it into the body, and we're going to stretch the back of our arms and our shoulders simultaneously. Notice right knee down, left arm stretch. Let's take that same left hand, place the hand between the shoulder blades, and use the right hand just to pull down, creating a bit more of a stronger stretch into our shoulders. I'm also leaning into the hip flexors with a bit more intensity. To make sure you get it, I'm going to demonstrate with a few different angles. What we're going to do now is repeat on the other side, balance everything out. Let's take a seat on the floor, legs stretched out in front. We're just going to reach for the toes. Next, we're just going to open out the legs and reach with our right hand to our left toe and from our left hand to our right toe. From there, we're going to take the stretch straight out in front of us. So we've now come to the end of the workout. Warm up, main workout, and cool down. This is your time. If you want to do some more stretches or you find any other areas that you want to work on, go ahead, feel free. You don't have to copy this template exactly. Hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you on our next workout. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, click the bell so you'll be informed the next time we release a video.